wings.
You're right about that.
Okay, that was the part, kind of came out of nowhere. I am so excited for this. Today I'm going to be watching and reacting to Lewis Hamilton's Hot Ones episode while eating some Hot Ones of my own. I reacted to Lizzo's Hot Ones episode, I think probably about 2 years ago at this point, and I ate these vegan field roast buffalo wings, which are my favorite store-bought buffalo wings by far. They're not very chicken-like, they're more of the field roast sausage texture, which I absolutely love. They are coated and crispy. They have a delicious buffalo sauce I just had to swallow because I am indeed drooling. And I made a vegan ranch as well, and I have some carrot sticks to balance everything out. I saw on Lewis's Instagram that he had done Hot Ones. Lewis is, of course, one of the few openly vegan celebrities, I would say, especially vegan athletes. There's a lot of athletes where we kind of guess or assume that they're vegan. Lewis is someone who actually proudly is vegan, has talked about it in the past, has talked about it in terms of how it has helped his racing career. For anyone who doesn't know, Lewis Hamilton is a Formula One driver. He is one of the best Formula One drivers of all time. He has broken all kinds of records in Formula One, and I am just so excited to watch this episode and eat my wings. So I'm gonna eat the first one now, and then we'll get started. Oh my god. These are so good. And they're so crispy, they have such a nice flavor. Dipping them in the ranch, I highly recommend. Oh my god, those carrots are really good. I just got these organic carrots at Target. They're really good. Really sweet. Initially, I wasn't planning on reacting to this episode, but then I saw a clip from Instagram that really piqued my interest, and I was like, let's react to it because I think you guys are going to be pleasantly surprised with some of what Lewis says in the episode. Okay, it was posted 5 days ago. It has 4.1 million views. It says Lewis Hamilton goes full send while eating spicy wings. All right, Lewis. Here we go.
Be careful, be careful.
What is the what in my what?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? For First We Feast, I'm Sean Evans, and you're watching Hot Ones. It's the show with hot questions and even hotter wings. And today we're joined by Lewis Hamilton. He's the winningest Formula One driver in the history of the sport, a 7-time World Drivers' Champion with a record-breaking 103 wins. But how will he fare today against our all-gas, no...
There's all the records that I couldn't think of in the moment, but I think there's even more than what he just mentioned. But he is the winningest Formula One driver of all time, which is crazy. And I didn't even know that's a word, and I'm not even still sure that it is.
No breaks gauntlet of spicy wings. Only time will tell. Lewis Hamilton, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
This almost seems like a silly question, considering what you do for a living, but are you at all nervous going into this Hot Ones interview?
I've watched your show. I'm a big fan of everything you've been doing. It's so hilarious, some of the stuff that you've done and the people that have come on. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, I could take that. And then I'm like, maybe not. And you know, I've canceled several times.
I know, Lewis. But you know what's nice about you? You did send me a succulent plant one time. You know, it looked great in the entryway of my apartment.
Well, a part of it was the schedule, but mostly it was like, I don't know if I can do it. And even on the way here, I was like, how can I get out of this?
Well, you know what? You didn't think of anything, and you're here now. You're trapped on my show. Are you ready to get started?
I'm so happy to be here and to meet you, so yeah.
I think that's so relatable. Like, don't we all have a fantasy of going on Hot Ones and wonder what it would be like for us? And that's why it's so brilliant that they've made these Hot Ones packs that you can buy and do it at home yourself.
Let's do it. Let's do it. That was a good entry point.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there have been other vegans on Hot Ones, like I mentioned Lizzo, Natalie Portman, Billie Eilish. As many of us noticed, John Oliver also ate the vegan wings, not positive if he's vegan. There was someone else, I think maybe Thomas Middleditch ate the vegan wings. But what I think is classy, and I mentioned this with the Lizzo video, is that Sean, the host, always eats the vegan wings when his guests are eating them. Maybe it's more of a logistical thing, but I think that it's a classy thing, knowing how good a host Sean is. That's just a classy move. Non-vegans take note. When you're with your vegan friends, just eat vegan food with them. It's just a really nice gesture, and it just like shows solidarity in a very small and simple way. And these do look to be the Meiwa wings, or some version of the Meiwa / Lily's Vegan Pantry wings, and they're absolutely delicious. One of these days I'll actually have those on hand for my video. but I like the sausage wings for now.
So in recent years, you've really immersed yourself in the interests that you have outside of racing, including producing a yet-to-be-titled F1 film made by the group that put together Top Gun Maverick and starring Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
Do you have a biggest pet peeve? What goes into perfectly calibrating your race weight? And then what are the implications of being off by just a pound or two?
Quite a lot of drivers, as far as I'm aware, pee in the car. But I just can't.
But you don't need to because you're not hitting that drink.
No, I mean, I've drunk a lot before, so literally just before we get in the car, I go as many times as possible right at the last minute. But I just can't bring myself to pee myself. I just.
Be honest, have you ever?
I have once. It was Singapore. And,
historic moment.
Oh God, it was.
I've been in traffic on the way to the airport. Like I know how that feels, right?
Yeah, it's really, really uncomfortable. I know. So you pull in the G-force, you just can't focus on your job. So
he didn't really talk about the weight thing too much, but at my former job, I was around race drivers, not Formula One, a different class, a different circuit altogether, but they were tiny. They were so tiny. Not much taller than me. I'm 5'4", and like I would say probably my weight, if not less. The Formula One drivers tend to look a little bit bigger, but maybe that's just on camera. Like they look a little more muscular. But yeah, that is a big part if you've watched the Formula One show on Netflix, that they do their weigh-ins after every race, before and after, and that must be really difficult and stressful to manage that aspect of it on top of everything else.
Oh, I like this one.
Fermented kimchi, that looks good.
I do generally love hot sauce. I like try and go out my way to find a good hot sauce.
I know you were nervous coming in, but I'm telling you, on the other side of this, you're gonna realize your hot sauce potential that you had all along. There was never a reason to swerve on hot.
When I call you tomorrow, like I'm in pain. Another friend actually told me that a couple of friends came on here, and they did also tell me they frightened me off. They told me the night afterwards they were on the toilet for ages. So I was like,
You know, I never mentioned that in studio to them. You know what I mean? But you're right. Hot Ones always has a second act. You know, always a reminder of your experience. Where do the hair-raising corners, known as maggots and beckets, fall amongst the world's most treacherous?
Well, they're not treacherous. I mean, we, as racing drivers, we don't look at them as treacherous. They're just
corners.
See, we're thrill seekers. Like for me, I'm like, that's awesome. You want to go through the corner faster.
They're not treacherous. Meanwhile, on the Formula One show, they've shown 2 separate occasions where a driver has died, and one where a driver almost died and was engulfed in flames and somehow survived. I think you have to be a little not right in the head to be a Formula One driver, is what I'm learning.
But when you hit the sweet spot, it's like, I say poetry in motion because that's what my uncle says.
I'm in heaven. This is heaven. I can't believe how good this is. And like, eating the thing that is thematically matched with what I'm watching, I highly recommend.
I see you taking big bites. How are you not fat?
I'm just trying to match you. I
heard you had like 3,000 wings or something over the time.
Yeah, I have. You know what? Cardio, that's it. You know?
How are you not fat? Because spice actually raises your metabolism. Read Dr. Neil Barner's most recent book to learn more about that.
That's the only thing, is you just gotta run away from the
wind. You should do the vegan ones. You save so many chickens.
You're right about that.
Wait, let me go back.
You should do the cardio, that's it. You know? That's the only thing, is you just gotta run away from the wind.
You should do the vegan ones. You save so many chickens.
You're right about that. So you once said that
Okay, that was the part I saw on Instagram. Kind of came out of nowhere. I was really pleasantly surprised to hear Lewis say that. He was asking Sean how he doesn't gain weight, I guess, by eating so many wings, and then mentioned that apparently Sean has eaten about 3,000 wings in his time filming Hot Ones. And Lewis said you should just do the vegan ones, you'd save so many chickens, which obviously doesn't have to do with weight loss, but I love that he said that, because 3,000 wings, if I do the math, carry the one. By my calculations, that would be 1,500 chickens slaughtered just so Sean Evans can film this show. And yes, I know it doesn't exactly work like that, of like, this chicken was slaughtered just for Sean, but that is essentially how it works. Sean created demand for 1,500 chickens, 1,500 chickens to be killed just so that they could consume their wings on the show. When the show isn't really about the wings themselves, is it? The show is about the sauces on top of them. And if you can have a wing-like experience where you're eating something chewy and meat-like off of a bone-like structure, or in this case, a stick, why does it need to be an actual chicken's wing? That's something I always think about whenever people are like, so gluttonous about wings. People eat like 24 wings in one sitting, and I'm like, that's fucking 12 murdered chickens that you just ate, bro. Like, it is so shocking. And not that any form of meat consumption sits right with me, but with wings, it just really stands out to me a lot more. And I know that the chicken whose wings are being eaten, like the rest of their body is being eaten as well. But it just does stand out to me, and I'm really happy he said that. It's also interesting that Sean said, "You're right about that." You know, he kind of said it in a bit of a dismissive way, but yeah, he is right about that. You can't really deny that if you ate the vegan wings, you would save so many chickens. I don't know, I don't think any other vegan that's been on the show has outright said something like that, like something so on the nose of calling out the obvious. And Lewis has such an affable, charming personality that he can really get away with throwing out something like that and it not coming off as, obnoxious, preachy vegan. And so, good for him.
So you once said that during a race, you'll become one with the car, which made me curious. When are you most in conflict with the machine that you're driving? Like
right now.
What?
These chicken wings are really good. Okay, that's got a little bit more of a kick to it.
Yeah.
He just commented on how the chicken tastes really good. Again, would love to know exactly what they use. Definitely feels like it's something like Maywa, but I'd love to have confirmation.
All right, so Lewis Hamilton, I know that you've long had a love for dogs ever since a Labrador named Goldie used to walk you to school in the morning and then find its own way home. So, in the spirit of that, what we've done is dusted off an old classic, a recurring segment we call Explain That Graham, okay?
Okay.
And we have a theme this time around, and that theme is your rescue bulldog, Roscoe Hamilton. So we'll pull the picture up over here on the monitor.
I love that. Little subtle endorsement for Adopt Don't Shop.
Like, is there a mindset difference between being a hunter and being the hunted?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's easier to hunt. If you're chasing and you make mistakes, you can get away, you fall 2 steps back and you can regain or work your way back. But if you're leading and you have a car failure, it's just so much more nerve-wracking, I would say. So I much prefer chasing. But I got to a point where I learned how to maintain kind of the chase. So what I used to do is I just used to picture me further up ahead. And so I was just chasing myself. And that seemed to keep me on a straight and narrow. Oh God. This can't be good in your stomach.
This is the one to bomb that always fucks everyone up. Even though it's not technically the last one, it's always the worst, it seems.
It's probably when you take a breather. Holy shit.
Yeah. Right along with you.
Yeah.
This one never gets easier for me either.
Yeah.
But whoa, going back in.
Yeah.
Respect.
This is gonna be painful, this one. What do I drink?
I'd go for the milk.
Okay.
I'll join you. And I got the tears going.
Yeah.
It's just an emotional.
I'm assuming he's drinking oat milk, maybe? I wonder exactly what. I wish they said.
When I'm just casually driving, I'm not going somewhere for work or anything like that, then I'm cruising. And so most people are more in a rush than I am. So I get a lot of road rage. Speed up! What's wrong with I find in America they're very quite aggressive.
Yeah.
Like in LA.
On that note, Lewis, we've hit the checkered flag on our Spicy Wing
Love.
Grand Prix. And to close things out, all I want to do, this camera, let the people know what you have going on in your life.
I feel great. I'm so happy that I made it through. I'm not dead. Honestly, I didn't think I was gonna make it, but so thank you so much for having me, and thank you everyone in this room for having me. It's keep doing what you're doing. It's so great. You bring so much joy to people's lives by doing this show. So I hope I get to come back.
He at least seems like such a genuinely nice person. So there was really only the one vegan reference. I was hoping there would be more. And Sean didn't really ask him about being a vegan Formula One driver, which I thought would be interesting. Maybe would have had some interesting response of like how he feels it helps him, or what he does differently to make sure he's getting everything he needs, or what a daily diet of his looks like. I enjoyed the episode. I maybe enjoyed the field roast buffalo wings even more. I want to look through the comments and see if there's anything interesting. That was genuinely one of the sweetest guests you have ever had. Unexpected and awesome. The funniest part is he didn't even promote anything at the end. My guy just thanked everyone who works on the show and said he wanted to come back. One of the best interviews ever. Apparently he's the first Formula One driver to ever go on Hot Ones, which is what I thought. Lots of people in the comments making fun of Lewis for eating those wings while claiming he's a vegan. Relax, guys. Those wings are vegan. They have vegan wings for vegans. Also, Lewis is so humble and cool. Are people that stupid? Like, I honestly, are people that stupid? That's like the thing that kind of comes up in vegan spaces a lot, where it's like a common complaint is if you tell people like, oh, I'm having some toast with some vegan butter and I'm doing like some vegan cheese, and people are like, we get it, you're vegan. But then if you're just like, I'm having toast with butter and I'm gonna have some cheese, then they'll be like, butter and cheese? I thought you were vegan. Where it's like, do we always have to specify it, or can you just know that if we're vegan, we're gonna be eating the vegan thing? Also, the vegan wings look so incredibly different from the chicken wings. They're uniform in shape. They have a very certain look to them. They're fatter. They have, they're smaller at the bottom. They're bigger at the top. Actual chicken wings, when they're eating them, you see they never pull off that much meat at one time. You see the bones. They're like shinier. Like, really? Does anyone know what brand those vegan wings are? They look delicious. We'd all like to know. Hot Ones. Drop the link. Not vegan wings though, are they? Vegan bites or nuggets or battered cauliflower. Oh, they're not actually wings. Oh, big deal. Someone makes a good point. Not sure how you got to that conclusion. I have the same issue with boneless wings. They're chicken goujons. I'm not sure what that means. Not wings, right? Aren't boneless chicken wings. That's just like a different part of the chicken shaped into a wing. But people don't have a problem with that, do they? The response he made about chasing himself is underrated. Goat mindset. I thought that was really interesting too. He had this entire studio giggling. Everyone is in love with him. I've never been a Lewis fan, but he's really changed my mind here. What a guy. I mean, this is exactly how he is on the Formula One show, so I'm not sure why people are so surprised that he's like this. I didn't know he was vegan. What a great guy. He radiates such a warm energy. Maybe the two are correlated. I'm not sure, but maybe they are. Who knows? And I've talked about a lot with celebrities and vegan media coverage how I don't always think it's so important to highlight when someone is vegan, but I think Lewis just existing and being as successful as he is and being vegan for much of his Formula One career is a testament in and of itself to how not only you can survive on a vegan diet, but you can drive to survive. Sorry, I had to. Someone said he is the first vegan guest to actually encourage giving up the meat. So cool. That's exactly what I said earlier. I can't remember another of the vegan guests who has said something like that outright. And I think a lot of us are afraid to do that, especially on an insanely big public platform. I think a lot of us would be afraid to say something like that. Because we don't want to be, that vegan. I don't know. I really respect how there was just this subtle little comment. And it was pretty hard hitting, even though it was just a blip and they moved right past it. Something for Sean to think about. Someone replied to that. Yes, he is unapologetic about promoting veganism. I love that. So much more famous vegans should speak more freely on animal rights and encourage others on giving up meat. Quite a few more comments commenting on that exact quote that he said. All right, guys, well, that is it for my reaction to Lewis's Hot Ones episode. I really enjoyed it. I obviously really enjoyed my field roast buffalo wings. I recommend these so much if you haven't tried them. They're really not that spicy at all, at least to me, but they're more of a buffalo, it's more flavor, less heat, in my opinion. This was really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know down below what you thought of Lewis Hamilton's Hot Ones episode. Check out my Patreon if you'd like even more content from me. I just posted my second podcast episode where I talked about a lot of really interesting vegan topics, some hot takes on some vegan public figures, and it's just a really fun episode. And I also opened up a new perk for all levels. It's called Community Chats. Right now we have 2 chats going, one on just sharing delicious vegan products and foods that we've tried, and another one on rants that's already filling up pretty quickly. And if you'd like to join those, check out the link below in the description and in the comments. So maybe I'll see you guys over there. Subscribe to Totally Forkable if you haven't yet, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye!